Hello guys, every good name is taken here and welcome to another video. Today I have something different, but let's get over with why. It's because I got some sort of a new PC, did everything, etc. Booted the PC, after some problems it worked, but then I saw that everything is gone. So like really everything, like over 100 recordings or so that I still had in the back of my sleeve because I wanted to save them up or so, which means I can't really do a sub special anymore, at least for now, because I won't get so many clips that easily and that fast. I would bet so, at least. And I don't really have any or not a lot of replays to feature. So I ask you guys on the Discord server, link to that in the description down below. If you would like to do a video about how I do my thumbnails, or at least how I create them. And so that's basically what we're going to do. I have my program open already, which is GIMP. So we're just going to create a new file. Okay. Oh, never mind, there it is. This is the size we are going to use. And now we get this layer where we are going to delete immediately this layer to make a new one which is transparent, because I don't really like layers with a background, with a white background. And I already took my screenshot, which this thumbnail will be used later on, so it's kind of a sneak peek on what you can expect tomorrow, if I can manage to do so at least. Just for you to note here, I've did or I had to re-download this program, of course, because it also got well, it also was away, and I used GIMP 2.8 before. Now I'm what? Oh, fuck! I pressed reset. Never mind. Now I'm gonna use GIMP 2.10. I have not really used it before that much. Let's just rescale up that a little bit. Probably gonna be a bit longer video, just a bit of talking and such. So it's nothing you would be missing if you don't watch this video. Let's see. There must be a tool that you can press. I don't know if it is still in here. Selection tool. Nope, not here. I'm sorry guys if you did not expect such a video, so it's just I want to do that stuff because maybe some of you guys are interested in this. I don't know, maybe not. If I mean, you don't have to watch this video, of course. No one said that you have to. Actually, we don't need this layer. Alright, so video is going to be about the Yak Tiger, because it's a replay I got sent 1 or 2 days ago, I believe. From the time this video goes up, it should be yesterday. And yeah, a world record. He set the world record in this tank, which is very amazing. I already recorded all the replay and everything. It's gonna be with a commentary, so you might want to look out for that. And yeah, let's start with the basic thing, which is as you probably know, I have these lines around the tank, or just the tank is differently colored. So let's just start with that, I guess. So I always zoom in a little, probably around that, so I can still see what is going on, but I see the pixels. And I'm just gonna try to draw the line around the tank, basically. That's all you have to do. Of course, you have to look out for that it doesn't look like bad with too many edges and such. For example, because it stops here, I'm just gonna drag it here and move on. Just gonna zoom in a little bit again, and we are going any further. So this is basically how I'm sort of cropping the tank. I guess that's how it's called. And yeah, that's basically everything of the process. After that we will get into the coloring of the tank, I would say. That's what we are going to do next. And then the text probably. And that will be then the end of the video. So yes, that's basically everything. I guess at the end I could do just a time-lapse of everything from start to finish without commentary. But that's just a future me if I decide to do so in the editing process. This is the, what is this of the tank? Is this the hatch? I never knew the yak tank had a hatch before. That's interesting to know, because I actually never really saw one. But it has to be, because it's not part of the house. It's still from the tank. So these little things as well. Let's just align it a bit better. We're soon to be done. This is like the part that takes usually the longest. So I'm just always doing it first. Of course I'm not doing that in every thumbnail. If you probably, or not probably, for example, saw on my thumbnails for the Sub Sunday, because there's already a lot of different colors. I don't want to like put more of them into it. And also, because I now have this sort of new PC, I am probably able to stream, and this video might get out on Friday, I guess. So tomorrow is possibly a stream. I will announce the time and everything on my Discord server. It's not 100% sure though, but I would like to do so. And yeah, so we are finished. We're just gonna hold on a second. Yes, why do it should select itself now that I made the path, but it's not really doing that right now, which is kind of confusing. I can't select by path though, even though I set one. I mean, I can't really press anywhere else now. Can just move these things around. Maybe align some stuff a little bit more, but still it should have a selection now, which it does not really have. I can invert the selection. Can I invert it back? Not really. This is just not what I want, really. Is this staying once I've finished, or if I'm maybe return, escape to cancel, return to commit, and back reopens shape? No, I don't want that. Feather edges is insert with the current selection. Oh, do I have to press shift? Oh, what does that mean? press F1 for help. I'm sorry guys, I just need to figure out how it's done myself. Because usually that's all I need to do. Insert shift control. Control shift. Oh, hold on a second. What happened there? Guess I gotta start new. Oh, once I leave this tool. Okay, I will do a cut here. Alright, so we are close to be done. So I've done that. Selected everything again. Now I changed the tool. And that's how we select it. But I only want to, of course, edit this part, so only the tank. So I need to get that part that I selected floating. Which means that if I now hold on, where is it? To a new, if I add it to a new layer and I remove it from visibility, the only tank you can see is the background, or vice versa, you can only see the tank. Let's just remove those red lines because, or those yellow ones, because no one likes to see those, I guess. And so this is basically how I'm doing my selection of the tank. I'm just gonna, for the background, let's see, brightness and contrast, just make it a bit more, changing it a bit, making it darker so the tank stands more out of it. Oh shit, that's too much. Yeah, but sort of like that should be enough. So we now go to the tank layer again. I could rename it for you just so you don't get confused. Tank layer and whoops, background. This is easier. I usually don't do it, but just for you guys, so you know what's going on. So we are now on the tank layer. So we are going to colors and color balance, and this is basically where all the stuff starts, where I'm just going to change it. For example, if you see it like this is not looking nice though, so we're just gonna reset that, and then I adjust to some sort of color that looks good in combination. I mean, I use a lot of different ones. I just play around with this. I mean, I also have here where I just change the shadows, so the lower part. This is too much though. Let's add some more red into it and maybe some green. So let's go for let's say a blue-green picture sort of. or like, nah, that's a bit too much. Like this, and like this. Or let's do it that way. In the highlights, I can. What does it change on distance? Because it's different on. Oh, it's just up here that little bit. So let's get somewhat on par of the others. Let's take a bit of green out because that's too much in my opinion. And I guess that looks nice. That's how I prefer to use it at least. Script through. Okay, I still have to download that. It's an addition to this, which kind of makes life easier. But we can work around that, that's no problem. Alpha 2 selection, it just selects all of this again. Okay, this just looks a bit weird, never mind. And then we go to select, we grow by some pixels, I usually do 5. Then we go to the bucket fill tool, which you probably know from Paint or so. And then we just gonna fill the whole selection with... Oh, never mind, that's not what we wanted. I have to go to this layer, I forgot, sorry. And do the bucket fill tool. So if we now select nothing again, we have this sort of a stroke around it. I mean, there are some areas that now don't look too nice because I don't use the actual one, so it's not gonna be on par in terms of quality with what I usually do, but in the next couple of ones you will see the usual quality again. So now we have the tank, we have the background changed a bit. We go to the sort of main part of this, which is actually the text. But before we're gonna do that, I am going to add my logo because I often do that. I have some stuff here which got saved thanks to OneDrive. Don't really know why not the rest, but well, what can you do, right? We're just gonna lower the opacity a bit because I don't want it to stand out more than the tank itself. Now that the logo is on, we are going to have the text. We change foreground color to white because foreground color is the one that is used for the text actually. And we can change the font afterwards. What do you want to write? Actually, let's start with the name of the player, and I have it right here, which is double underscore angel, just like so, underscore of underscore. Is it yeah, it's a form of dev. It's the name with 2 more underscores, and let's just move it a bit more into the middle. Nope, that's not what we wanted. Only move the active layer, please. So we just gonna select all of this and of course scale it a bit up, let's say 100, and move it a bit more into the screen again. And now let's change the font. I downloaded some of those that I had before already, so that I'm not like completely out of everything that I had. And let's maybe go with the font Capture It, which is this one, which you might recognize. I quite like it, so let's have a look at the other ones because of the underscores. This doesn't look too nice. No. Yeah, that looks better. Just have to make it bigger, of course. Let's say to 150. Now what I'm doing is I can already select the color so that the tank is like blue reddish. I would say we don't use those colors but instead use some green. So we have this selected. Change it to the foreground color. Logo can just get merged down to that, and as well the tank, because we don't need those anymore. So we are going to add a new transparent layer which is above the text, and then we set alpha to selection so it selects most of the white. Then we use the bucket fill tool, go to the layer above and press once so it all gets green. So why do we need this extra layer? Because if we would go here, wait, this also works, never mind. It did not do so in the patch before, so to say. So we are just gonna do it because I said I'm gonna do it like I used to do my thumbnails. We're gonna do this one like this, and afterwards I will probably not do this step anymore. Oh wait, no, I need to do it, never mind. So we now go to select, we go to shrink and shrink it by 1 or 2 pixels. I'm deciding on how big the text actually, the text actually is. And so I select usually 1 pixel, and also after that feather. You can, or what I do is 5 or 10. When I use 1 pixel in the shrink, I use 5 in feather, and if I use 2 pixels in shrink, I use 10 in feather. That's how I do it. And now we just gonna go clear and go to none. And if you now zoom in, you can see that we have a little green ring at the outside of the text, or at the inside actually. So we set alpha to selection again. We add a new layer which is below the text layer. Then we select that it's growing by 5 or 10, also depending on if I use shrink and feather the lower one, then I use 5. If I use the higher one, I use 10, but here we are going with 5 because we don't want it to be extraordinary big. And now we just use a darker of the same color, use bucket tool again and put that in. Now we select none. After that, what I do is I go to filters. I stay on the layer 1, which is below the text layer. I go to blur, Gaussian blur, and set both to 50. It's like pretty good number in my opinion. I could just write it here, 50, and okay. And then it looks a little bit more of this glowy thing, but the text is quite small, so actually let's just scale that up a bit. Oh no, that's the, oh no, that's the wrong one. That's actually the wrong layer we want to be under. We need to merge these before we do anything, and merge, so move everything on it at the same time. And let's just make it a bit bigger, scale it, and yeah, there we go. That's the name of the tank, or the player. That's the player, not the name of the tank. And since I usually do that in my other videos where there is some sort of damage record, which in this case it's even world record. It's like world record even. Basically, so we just do the normal text. Let's use Canning Coffee for that. This one should be good. And let's just write damage. Oh, hold on a second. This size is too low. Let's go with, or the font is small. so to speak. Damage world record. Pretty simple. So since they are all white, I will do them the same color. So we're just gonna use a guide by percentage. It just is some sort of a helping line. We want it in vertical. So this is basically the guide. It's at half of the, or in the directly in the middle, but we don't want it there. So I'm gonna move it to, let's say, this one. Then we go to move active layer again, and then we can just align them like that they are, oops, that's the wrong one, on top of each other, and that, okay, we should move it more to the middle because I don't want it to be that much on the edge actually. So let's go with this, let's go with this, and let's go with this. Now we can delete that guide again, just going here and delete it. And what we are going to do is we are going to actually merge these together so that it's just one layer, so we can edit them all at one time. So we had green already here, so for contrast just use red, because here's also some red but blue is dominating. And we're just gonna do the same thing as we did here. We're just gonna merge it down so it's not annoying us. We are going to select alpha to selection, go to the bucket fill tool, and we need a new layer. Do that. Now we shrink again. Oh no, wait, we shrink first and then we feather. I don't know if you have to do it that way, I'm just used to doing it like that, so I will also keep doing it like this. So we are here, we are going to do one new layer again. We need a bit, not a bit, but like not so bright red, a bit darker one should be great. Then we need to do the alpha to selection again. Actually we need to grow it as well by 5. Go to layer 1 that is below the text layer. Use the bucket fill tool and select none again, so that we have some sort of contrast. Here's the brighter one, which you can't see that much anymore, but that's not needed. We are still on this layer, so we're just gonna go to filter, go to blur, Gaussian blur, and set it both to 50 again. And okay. And then it gives this glowy effect. And that's basically all to it. We're just gonna add the name of the tank, which I actually nearly forgot to do. So for this one we used Power Edson, so let's use this font again. Oh no, it wasn't, it was this one I believe. And it's the Yacht Tiger, which was played here. We're just gonna make it a bit bigger because it's the main focus, of course. So let's say 180 should be fine. Move it around here. Let's just use green again, because for the sake of it, why not? But first we have to, oh not have to, but I want to merge those down again, so we don't get any trouble with that. We get to alpha to selection, do a new layer, bucket fill, just the same as before. Use shrink, do the feathering, and then clear it out and select nothing again. Do the alpha to selection, then we go and add a new layer again, which is transparent. We let it grow by 5 pixels, choose the darker but same color. On layer 1, use bucket fill again, go to none in selection, and then we just repeat the Gaussian blur, which makes this look similar, which I actually want. We have the logo on it, and yeah, this is basically it. We are just going to export these now. I'll probably do that off screen, but just for the sake, why not show it at least once? Just gonna load a second because I'm using this program for the first time today, so we are going to the desktop. We are gonna call it just Yak Tiger, and we make it JPEG because PNG files are just way bigger than JPG, if that makes any sense. I don't know. I will also export. I will also post this now on the Discord server, so if you see it now or once you see this video and you check when the Discord server got this message, you will probably know when I did this video or recorded it live at least. So basically that was it for today for me, and catch you in the next video. Bye.